Hello friends, in this video lecture we will discuss about the functioning of liver. Liver is considered as one of the busiest organ of our body, so you can easily understood about their importance in our body. In previous video lecture we discussed already about the structure of liver, so here about the function. So first function is given here about bile production. We can use the word bile or bile juice or hepatic juice or hepatic bile. Hepatic is alternative term we earlier discussed. Liver is also known as hepar. So hepar and then hepatic. So bile juice, its pH is nearly 8.6. The site for synthesis and production is liver, but the site of storage for this bile is gallbladder. Gallbladder we also discussed is a pear-shaped gland which is located posterior to liver, and the quantity which produces about bile or bile juice is nearly half liter to 1 liter. There is a number of salts, there is a number of pigments present inside the bile. So first about salt, this is sodium bicarbonate, sodium glycolate, sodium taurocholate. These salts are responsible for emulsification of lipid. What is emulsification of lipid? So this is about conversion of large fat droplets or lipid droplets into the smaller one. We can say this is about physical breakdown of lipid, and the site of this action is small intestine. So bile synthesizes or produces in liver is stored in gallbladder, and from gallbladder this moves into small intestine with the help of cystic duct, common bile duct and then hepatopancreatic duct. The second function is deamination. So deamination is actually about removal of amino group from amino acids. This amino group converted into ammonia. This ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide of our body and there will be production of urea. So by this process urea formation occurs inside the liver. The third one is about excretion. So we earlier discussed here about urea formation. Two molecules of ammonia, one molecule of carbon dioxide unite to form urea. So this urea just eliminated out from our body with the help of excretory system. There is also a number of bile pigments that we discuss like bilirubin and biliverdin. Bilirubin is yellow in color, biliverdin is green in color. Their formation occurs by the degenerated RBCs. RBCs carries hemoglobin, and that hemoglobin after completion of lifespan of RBCs getting simplified or converted into bilirubin and biliverdin. These are also excretory material, so they also excreted out by our digestive system. Liver also plays an important role in removal of cholesterol as well as metal ions, like we discussed already. Hemoglobin carrying iron, so iron or other metals are eliminated by the liver. The fourth one is about detoxification. So as we discuss here about deamination, D for removal, amination is about amino group from amino acid. Same here, D for removal, toxification is about toxic material. So liver also causes conversion of most toxic substances into least toxic substances or harmless substances, and by this there is removal of toxic material from the body. The fifth one is about hemopoiesis. Hemo is about blood and poiesis is about synthesis. So liver also plays a very important role in synthesis of blood cells or blood corpuscles during embryonic stage of individual's body. So there are few points that is very important regarding this. During very early embryonic stage, blood synthesis occurs in yolk sac while late embryonic stage blood synthesis occurs by liver, and after birth blood synthesis occurs by the bone marrow of longer bones. Liver also produces a number of blood proteins like prothrombin and fibrinogen. Both these blood proteins are blood clotting proteins. So they are responsible for clumping or clotting or coagulation of blood at the time of injury. The next one is about secretion or synthesis of anticoagulant. So liver also synthesizes heparin, that is anticoagulant. So anti means opposite, coagulant is about blood coagulation. So as we discuss here, prothrombin and fibrinogen, they both are helpful in blood clotting, clumping or coagulation at the time of injury. But inside the body, when blood is moving through blood vessels, at that time this heparin stops clotting or clumping of blood. That's why heparin is considered as anticoagulant. The next one is about destruction of RBC. So we earlier discussed those RBCs which have completed their lifespan. In human body, the lifespan of RBC, red blood cells or erythrocytes, is nearly 120 days. So after that 120 days, they are getting degenerated or disintegrated. Now this damaged RBCs are further sorted out by liver. So liver causes breaking of these worn out RBCs, and hemoglobin which present in RBCs is converted into bile pigments. We earlier discussed about bilirubin and biliverdin. Both these are bile pigments. Bilirubin is yellow in color, biliverdin is green in color. The next function is glucogenesis. This is about conversion of excess glucose into glycogen, and this process is promoted by the hormone insulin, which is secreted by pancreas. This is actually beta cells of islets of Langerhans of pancreas, and the site of function is here liver. So inside liver, excess of glucose converted into glycogen and stored as a food material for future use. The next one is glycogenolysis. So lysis is for breakdown, genesis is about synthesis. So in glycogenolysis, there is simplification of glycogen into glucose. Glycogen is a polysaccharide while glucose is a monosaccharide, that means simple sugar. So glycogen to glucose conversion is promoted by glucagon hormone. This hormone secreted again by the alpha cells of islets of Langerhans of pancreas. Again, the site for conversion is liver. The next one is about lipogenesis. This is lipo about lipid, genesis for synthesis. So liver also provides the site for formation of lipid or fat from glucose as well as amino acids. So we will discuss about the process when we discuss about chapter cellular respiration under plant physiology. So during respiration, glucose converted into pyruvic acid, then acetyl coenzyme A, and this acetyl coenzyme A converted into fatty acids and glycerol, and then into lipid or fat. Same protein converted into amino acids, excess of amino acid converted into pyruvic acid, then acetyl coenzyme A, and finally into fatty acids, glycerol, and then fat. The next one is gluconeogenesis. So gluco, as we discussed earlier, is gluco and glyco, both are for carbohydrates. Here glucogenesis about synthesis of glycogen from glucose. So carbohydrate to carbohydrate, simple carbohydrate to complex carbohydrate, means monosaccharide to polysaccharide. Here glycogenolysis. So glycogenolysis about glycogen to glucose, complex sugar to simple sugar, polysaccharide to monosaccharide. So both these hormones, here one thing that is very important, insulin and glucagon, they are functioning in a opposite way. Such type of hormones are known as antagonistic hormone. So insulin and glucagon, they both are antagonistic in nature. We are discussing here about gluconeogenesis. So gluco, as we discuss, is about carbohydrate, neo for new, genesis is about synthesis. So when there is synthesis of carbohydrate from non-carbohydrates like amino acids, fatty acids, glycerol, if from these kind of substances all these are non-carbohydrates to glycogen or glucose, this is carbohydrate. If this synthesis occurs, then process is gluconeogenesis. This also occurs inside the liver as well as kidney and striped muscles of our body. The next one is about synthesis of vitamin A. So beta carotene, which is present in our diet, is converted into vitamin A. Beta carotene is yellow or orange in color. This present mainly in carrot. So this beta carotene, also known as precursor of vitamin A, and this one converted into vitamin A by the liver. So liver is also the site for synthesis of vitamin A. The next one is phagocytosis. So liver also causes engulfing of disease causing or pathogenic substances by their Kupffer cells. So Kupffer cells we earlier discussed in structure of liver. Kupffer cells are phagocytic cells and they are localized. They are localized cells in case of liver. The next one is about osmoregulation. So osmoregulation is about osmotic regulation. Osmosis is related with liquid, means water. So by liver there is synthesis of another protein known as angiotensinogen. This angiotensinogen reaches into kidney and this maintains body water requirement by a system that is known as RAS system. So this is renin angiotensin aldosterone system. This system is very important. We'll discuss in excretion chapter. The next one is about liver, which functions as a site of storage. So liver store a number of substances like given here glycogen, fat, vitamins like A, D, E, K. All these are lipid soluble vitamins and also one water soluble vitamin, that is from B complex. This is B12. Along with this, liver also stores blood, water, a number of minerals like iron, copper, potassium, etc. The last one is about regulation of body temperature. So by the metabolic activities which are going inside the liver will cause generation of a heat, and this heat is responsible for regulation also of body temperature of human. Now about 3 questions that are related with this video lecture and is about your learning aptitude. So you have to reply about the answers in the comment section.